Hey guys, it's Lauren. Today we are going to talk about how to place your kiddo on a bolster or a rolled up towel, depending on what you have available at home. And I am using my sweet baby doll, Eric, today to demonstrate because I don't have any kiddos of my own. So stay tuned. Okay, so again, it's me and Eric over here, my baby doll from when I was a kiddo, trying to demonstrate essentially how to place your kiddo on a bolster or a rolled up towel. It really depends on how big your kiddo is, but essentially you want their hips to be in line. So you want your knees to not be higher than your hips. So you can have a kiddo placed on a couple of different pillows, especially if they're couch pillows that are a little bit bigger. If your kiddo is taller, if they're smaller, like infant size, you can get a couple of towels to just roll them up and just make the bolster a little bit taller. The best part about having a bolster, and the reason why I love having kiddos on bolsters, is to stretch out their adductors, which are the muscles on the inside of your thighs. They can get really tight for kiddos, and having them on a bolster or a peanut ball, it helps your pelvis get into a good position as well, and you can kind of rotate the pelvis to help assist with some trunk control as well. So again, you're gonna put your kiddo on the bolster. If you have a big enough bolster, you can sit behind them or sit on them on the bolster. I like, again, to use my knees to kind of support the kiddo so that I can use my hands above. If I was sitting on the bolster with the kiddo, this one's a little bit tiny, but I would essentially just kind of be right here, and that gives me a little bit more support for them. Since this is a super tiny bolster and I have a little babe, I don't necessarily need that much, but what you're gonna wanna do if your kiddo has difficulty with trunk control, you're gonna wanna support their trunk with your body. Depending on how much assistance your kiddo needs, and whether or not they have visual impairments, that's gonna definitely impact how you're going to assist them in exploring their environment. If your kiddo is nonverbal and needs a lot of assistance, having a switch toy with a button in front of them and the toy also in front of them on a black background or a white background is going to be really helpful. Kiddos with visual impairments do really well with shiny objects, objects that reflect, lights, and noise. What you can even do to adapt some of the toys you have at home, you can add bells on them with just simple clips, anything to make a object make noise or light up can be really helpful, keep the kiddos more engaged. So I don't have a switch toy with me right now, but I can insert what one would look like and put some links to them down below if I can find some. Imagine like a big colorful button right in front of my kiddo. Since I don't have a button, I'm just going to use a yellow beanbag just so that you guys can see kind of what I mean. So the button's gonna be in front of them or on their leg, depending on how much assistance they need in order to hit the button, which then makes a toy move and make noise and things like that. What we're looking for is cause and effect learning. And so once the kiddo starts to understand, I hit this button, it makes the toy move, they're gonna be more motivated to continue to hit the button or hold it for longer periods of time. And holding it is gonna allow them to build up muscle strength. You have a kiddo and you have the switch placed in front of them. You're going to hand under hand and help them their body forward, and then hopefully they're the ones pushing down. If they're lacking head control, you don't want them to be in that position for too long. But essentially, you're going to bring them forward, have them hold it, the object or the toy will make noise, and then you're going to bring them back. A lot of times, if kiddos will kind of rest back here. From the resting position to fully upright, they're going to need more support because this is a harder position for them because gravity is essentially pushing us backwards and our core has to fight against gravity to be up. Now, once they hit this critical point, going forward, gravity is actually going to assist them in moving forward. So you might see them actually reaching forward and then going to press down. If you have a kiddo who doesn't have that much core control, you can move the object closer and you can actually just support their trunk. This other hand is on my leg and kind of help assist their body or their arm, and then they can kind of just rest it. And then the force of gravity a lot of times will push it down, or their extension of either their wrist or their whole arm pushing down will make the object move. And then typically, regardless if a kiddo has better left hand or right hand coordination, you do want to give them both opportunities to build their strengths. Even if really it's like a 1% movement on their point on one of the hands, you still want to give them opportunities to build that strength and to learn that motion. You moving their own arm is teaching them the motor pattern. It's teaching them, if I elicit movement and push down, a reaction is going to happen, and then cognitively they can buy into that cause and effect relationship, which is one of the specific things and specific skills that a kiddo needs in order to start communicating. They need to buy in, when I move my body, a specific reaction occurs or a specific consequence happens. So then they start thinking, oh, okay, maybe I'll move my body more. And then it's just a significant change in learning from there. So again, having the switch in different positions, going forward, going backwards, having them learn how to reach. And again, you want to focus on making sure their head control. So maybe you're reaching with them and pulling them back. Rotating, you could have them cross midline, so the switch could be over here, and you could use the right hand to hit a switch on the left side. And then you could do the opposite, where your hand's underhand on the left arm, rotating to switch on the right side. So I hope that this was helpful. Obviously, it's not as great as having my own little one at home, but since we have no kiddos, this is what you guys got. So thanks for being patient with me, and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, post them down below, or any topics that you would love to learn about. One of my favorite things to do is post content that you guys requested, because then I know it's something you specifically are excited to learn about. Have an awesome day. Bye.